We're here to talk about LivaNova's K13.NET Core MVC build and just kind of how that worked out. So let's get going. Kind of briefly on LivaNova itself, LivaNova PLC is a global medical technology company built on kind of decades of experience and a relentless commitment to patient outcomes with a focus on products and therapies for the head and heart. So LivaNova's mission really is to provide hope for patients and their families through innovative medical technologies, delivering life-changing improvements for like the head and heart. So across various therapy areas associated to those things. So just very focused on kind of medical conditions. All right, let's keep going. I'm like losing the narrative here. All right. So LivaNova's portfolio brands were previously working in silos. So each on separate tech stacks with diverging customer experiences. And kind of the main goal here for the rebuild project was consolidating and updating so that we can unify the branding across all these therapy areas. So making sure that we're showing people things the way we want to show them and customizing them when it makes sense. And then migrating to kind of one tech stack, which would be Kentico Experience 13, to kind of utilize technologies inherent within Kentico, really important. We'll kind of keep going. Expanding on multi-site and multilingual offerings to better serve international markets. So when they were working on different platforms separately, it was really hard to spin up new environments, spin up new country sites, as well as kind of share things between those country sites. And kind of reducing overhead by having a simple to update portfolio of widgets and templates, and of allowing the team to create engaging content without needing developer assistance so that we can kind of utilize that stuff. We also wanted to consolidate reporting across verticals with kind of a renewed focus on SEO and kind of making sure that we can see that data and tweak things as we go from MVP to, a phase 2 and phase 3 and all those different additions. And kind of in addition to that, just reducing the cost across the org for new features and ongoing maintenance by centralizing in a single multi-site code base. So as each therapy added things that they require, that could be utilized by the other therapy areas with, some changing to branding and things like that. So speaking about specifically the epilepsy VNS therapy brand, that was really a primary driver of both the required site features as well as really needing Kentico Experience 13's functionality to meet their business objectives. Kind of some of those were multilingual support. It was really important to be able to, as this is medical information, there are several core audiences, both patients as well as healthcare providers that need to be spoken to kind of in a different way. Well, healthcare providers need a lot of detail, patients need a lot of assurance because a lot of these things that we're selling here, particularly in the epilepsy site, involve surgery. So it's not something you take, you want to do a lot more research, you want to be sure of what you're doing. So the multilingual support was really key in making these tailored experiences possible while still being kind of quick and easy to get fresh content into the market as things change. As mentioned kind of in a previous statement on this presentation, workflows are really important. So due to the high regulatory nature of the content we're talking about, extensive uses of Kentico's built-in permissioning and workflows is really key to ensure that the right information goes to the right people, that we get approvals where we want them, that is trackable so that we can, if we get requests around when was this content live, who approved it, we can handle all of those things as well. And then just ease of development. As Kentico Experience 13 is a mature platform with quality documentation and support, this really helps keep the costs down both initially as we're building things and over time as additional features are added both to the platform and to the site, that it's easy to kind of maintain. Also important was just kind of ensuring as we were building this out that it was SEO optimized. So a large focus of the rebuild was to coordinate changes with best practice from an SEO perspective, making sure we have ARIA labels, making sure we have schema.org, that kind of stuff. Both in utilizing MVC to kind of provide rich content that is simple to update, and then kind of structuring that content so we can, work on page rankings and things like that. Dovetailing some off that would be accessibility and cookie consent. As LivaNova is a national corporation, it serves patients across the globe, and really being up to date on the latest practices from both accessibility and cookie consent perspective was really imperative. Kentico Experience 13 made it pretty easy to kind of implement cookie consent the way we needed to, as well as fulfilling the GDPR requirements that we also need to be careful with. For the VNS therapy kind of site, the main visitor goals were really for the business were around kind of increased traffic and impressions. So just really focusing on being a thought leader in drug-resistant epilepsy. And the primary goal here is really just a tailored, rich experience that both tailors separately to patients and healthcare providers. So we saw user traffic kind of go up over time, which was really great to see, as well as those sessions per user kind of staying constant. So people are staying on site at least as much, if not more than they were before, which tells us that the quality of traffic we are getting is better. We're not getting a bunch of junk, essentially. And then just increased leads via the provider locator. So one of the important features is really to find a hospital to which you can have a conversation with a healthcare provider about the things we're trying to talk to them about. And really being able to find those people easily and track analytics for people accessing that feature was really important for us. And then just kind of an easy rollout of additional country sites. So we're going live with different locales for the epilepsy VNS therapy website over time, kind of starting with US and UK, but kind of expanding very quickly. And those fast follows were made easier by, having a really good format for our content, for our trees, and really just building, using the abilities of Kentico at its fullest to really expand out there. But yeah, that was largely what I had. I guess, Kara, did you have anything you wanted to add? I want to go out.
We have a global business, we have decentralized marketing teams, and we have a lot of needs of the regulatory nature. And so there's a lot of considerations that from a business perspective, we have to take into consideration as we're building. And I think Kentico has allowed us to build a solid platform that respects regulatory requirements, it respects the needs of our patients from language, from region, and all that sort of thing. So it really is helping us meet LivaNova's business goals just by being on a platform to support those priorities.